Welcome to Fun and Games Side Quests. Every episode is a different host sharing a video game they love and why they love it.
What's up? I'm Alex Murray, and I am currently a performer for the 20-Sided Tavern. I've been playing Dungeons & Dragons in personal capacity since about 1991. Got real into Magic the Gathering back in the day as well, and now I'm a actor, comedian, musician, performer, and currently about to go on tour with the 20-Sided Tavern. So check us out if you want to come play live D&D in a room full of other nerds in a way that nobody else has ever done it before. Come chill with us. But that's me. And because I'm such a TTRPG dweeb, all my favorite video games are turn-based. I like to be able to get up and walk away in the middle of combat. I like a long, intense story. I tend to enjoy JRPGs where I start my day off, heading to school or like taking some goods to the market for my parents, and then like 72 hours later in game, I have to kill God with a stick of destiny that I got from beneath the mountain Zagarampath or whatever. That's my stuff. And so today I want to talk about The Darkest Dungeon. They tried to make a tabletop game out of it, but it is nuts. It's crazy complicated, and it's fun and better than the video game in some ways, but in a lot of ways, no. So the video game, The Darkest Dungeon, I adore because it's got that like dungeon crawler, turn-based combat nonsense to it. It's also got this beautiful like paper-drawn aesthetic to it that makes me feel like I'm sitting at a table with my friends and looking at like illustrations that we've made and come up with and have like built our own weird little world. It also is a horror game, and it's wildly unique for like a dungeon crawler turn-based sort of level up, pick a class, pick a character game, because even unlike like a Call of Cthulhu type move, your characters are so wildly expendable. Essentially, the plot is this. Your uncle messed up. I don't know if we're gonna bleep things out, but here you go. I don't know how I'm about to be, but I'm gonna say that again. Your uncle fucked up. He had an ancestral home, and he started delving too deeply under it. It's on a cliff surrounded by weird marshes and crazy, scary like inlet. And there's marshes and woods and fens, and they're all full of rotting corpses and much evil. But your uncle or great uncle or whoever he is screwed all the way up. He started looking for like power beneath his house. Like someone who's never seen a horror movie. And he unlocked something, and a great evil has been unleashed across the land, and it has destroyed the hamlet below his mansion, as well as utterly corrupting all the lands around it. And it's basically your job to clean it up. So, hey, awesome. For one, we're undoing family trauma, and we're getting to mess with like eldritch horrors that are maybe from space, maybe not, maybe from another dimension. You won't know until you get there. And you're essentially playing the heir, and you get to hire characters, hire adventurers who come into town, after like every sortie that you go on. You have a chance to go down to new adventures coming to town on a stagecoach, and you hit it, and there are something like 7 or 8 classes of adventurers. They're all pretty classic, right? You've got a highwayman who's like a robber sort of thief guy with a pistol and a saber. And you've got, the sort of folks who would volunteer themselves for this kind of mission, because you're essentially putting together teams of 4 people. Like there's a hound master, and there's like clerics who have some healing powers and some divine powers. And then there's, just straight up like fighter, like knights, like crusaders who came back from the Crusades and don't have anything to do. Lepers who sort of forgotten, castaway, pushed aside members of society. And you're picking from them and then sending them out on sorties to like clean up the evil and recover artifacts and things. And it's typical in all those ways of like a roguelite and like not a deck builder, but a party builder, where you are leveling these characters up one like mission at a time and getting money and leveling the town up as well so that you can level characters up more and more quickly. The main mechanic of the game is light. It's the darkest dungeon, and you have to have torches or people start to freak out. There's all these wonderful like terror mechanics. The darker it gets, the more scared your party gets. And if your party gets too stressed, you have a health bar and you also have a stress bar. If you get too stressed, you might go insane. But if you get too stressed, you might realize that like it's time for your character to double down and they become more powerful than they've ever become before, and they rally your party and you kill the flesh golem even faster. But you know, you won't know until you get there. And you have to babysit your adventurers in such a weird way, and you get attached to them. You know, once you've got like a level 7, level 8 guy, that's you've sent them out on nights of drinking when they're too stressed. You're like, all right, buddy, why don't you go have a couple beers? You did have to fight a swamp hag with 3 heads. I'm super sorry about that. You did come here, and I've hired you to help unscrew up my family's great evil. So why don't you go have a couple beers down the pub? And then when you're done, we're going to send you back into the fen to, you know, fight a guy that's like a half pig centaur man with a giant spear. So that's probably going to stress you out. Or maybe the pig man stabs you. Uh-oh, you were in a swamp and you got stabbed by a pig man spear. That's bad news. You just got syphilis. Whoops. So now we got to send you to the doctor for a couple days, you know, while we get back to town. And you end up with like, you can have, I think, up to 20 adventurers in your party. And I'm a very big fan of put the party together RPGs, and this allows you to put specific parties together, like essentially raids, like on small missions. So you go, all right, like, well, let's put these 4 people together in the best combo to take on the ruins, because they're all people who, because of their experiences coming up, have become people that are good at the ruins, and they can see ahead of themselves. And we've got plenty of money, and we've got plenty of torches, and we got plenty of light, and it manages to have really intense RPG stakes in like boss battles and things. But if you lose, you're not utterly screwed, but I mean, you do lose. Like, these guys are just gone. Your level 8 leper that you've put tons of time and energy into he's beefed it, man. He is out. And I love that. I really enjoy getting to feel the like the stress of like adventure middle management is so bizarre, but you know, you're trying to save the day. And I do love a like eldritch horror game, because sometimes it doesn't matter how hard or how deep you go or how many gods you kill. There's always another deeper, more wretched evil. And it's important to remember sometimes that beating it isn't important. Fighting it is. And me, I like being the coach of Fight the Evil, the team. I live in a weird intersection of nerds who like sports, and this game is the closest you can get to like a FIFA basketball like season long campaign, essentially. You know, and you're fielding lines of adventurers who are gonna, you know, are best suited to get you out of this situation or into another one. And I love that. It's very, very fun. And also you can get up in the middle of a stressful boss fight and go have a cookie, because I don't understand why anyone would want to be physically stressed out while playing a video game, but there you go. So, if you want to fight eldritch evil and undo your family's horrible, traumatic legacy on the land, while also maybe curing your Houndmaster's syphilis and giving a leper a beer so that they are no longer too stressed to fight flesh witches, The Darkest Dungeon, man. Check it out. It's great. Happy gaming.
Have you ever been reading through a stack of comics and thought, maybe I should see what that Arkham Asylum game is all about? Or been playing Marvel vs. Capcom and felt like you were at a real disadvantage since you didn't know who half the characters were? Well, Play Comics is the show for you. I'm Chris, and each episode we take a look at video games based on comic properties and how well they stick to that source material. So whether you know the comics and want to know how all those games work, or you know the games and want to find out where all this craziness came from, go check out Play Comics at playcomics.com or wherever you find your favorite podcasts.
CPOV. CertainPOV.com.